It's the Producers Podcast, Paul.
Yes, it is.
You're Tall Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. And for the young people who are becoming producers in the industry,
Yes.
the best thing you can do is prepare for your show. So like, for example, today we have quite a few things that we're going to cover in the next 30 minutes.
That's right.
But every once in a while, Paul, every once in a while,
You seem a bit on edge. What's wrong?
I am on edge, my brother. And I didn't want to do my two new COVID pet peeves,
Oh, okay.
but I'm going there.
Oh, well, let's go.
Okay, all right, here we go. So take it from the top. So
Okay.
this morning, before the Producers Podcast taping, I thought
Yeah.
I'd knock out a little grocery shopping. Figure, no problem. I got plenty of time.
You're pretty good at that grocery shopping.
Well, I've got it down to a science, including the coupons, including the discounts, including everything.
Yeah, you got the whole thing.
But here's what I haven't planned for, but COVID has brought to the forefront.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Instacart?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is where it's been a very good thing for people who can't get out of the house or don't want to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I guess, hire these people to go to the market and do their shopping and bring the groceries back to them.
Right.
Hey, that sounds like a really, really good idea.
Right now.
Until you're behind the son of a bit, the SOB, who's the Instacart guy that now I've seen him everywhere.
Oh.
And he's got the cart full, 2 carts full, Paul.
Oh.
But it seems like it's 4 different families that he's buying for.
Oh, it is. He's not buying for one person. He buys for a group, and then he has to separate them. And then, if you get stuck behind that, it's
No,
death.
Paul, I was behind the Instacart man from hell. And it was 4, and yes, he must have been shopping for 4 families to the point where when he finally got to the checkout lady, he was then dividing them up at the counter.
Oh, God.
I'm like, Broseph, listen, I'm not this emotionally stable.
Yeah.
You cannot be, okay, forward fast. They should just have a separate line for these Instacart people.
Absolutely.
Start with that. But if you don't have that, then, dude, you've got to separate that stuff prior to getting to Maria, my favorite checkout lady.
Yes.
And so me and Maria can have a good conversation and get the hell out of there in lickety split.
Maria, the fastest scanner in the West, right?
She is, and nobody can whip out the paper or plastic faster than her.
And I hope she gives you those fuel points because that's key.
I get the fuel points every once in a while. If I have the $20 coupon, if you spend like $100,
right?
She'll even if you only get to like 96, she'll float that thing right. Today, Maria got the override button going.
Oh,
because I didn't have enough for the coupon. But I digress. Instacart people, listen, you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
I assume for shut-ins and elderly and everybody else. But Paul, I was ready to snap like a twig on this guy.
I wish you would have had a camera on you because I know how you get.
Well, and then in addition to the forward issue of the man carving out 4 different family grocery lists,
right?
The lady behind me is bitching and moaning the whole time too.
Oh.
So now you're in a conversation with the lady about how bad this is.
Right.
Instacart man is flailing with, and I don't know how he even realizes what goes to which family. So the long story is I'm very wound up.
Yeah, you're wound tighter than a drum today. You really are. I see it.
And it's just I want to go with the flow. I want people to be able to shop through their Instacart man. But it's out of control. And now when I got to the second place I go, the lady did have a good idea. How about Instacart people? You have your own aisle.
Well, you know what? And to that point, when you go to the bank, there's a merchant line because the merchants who bring a lot of cash and coin and stuff, they take a long time for their transactions. So they've always had like a merchant line where they go there and the regular customers go here. And that's kind of where we are now with shopping.
Well, they need to do that. All right. So again, I don't want to go off the deep end. We're only like 3 minutes into the podcast.
No, go.
Oh, but that was all right. So then the other pet peeve I have through this COVID, because they come fast and furious, Paul.
They do in twos.
So we've been walking quite a bit because you don't have much else to do.
That's it.
So you get up, you eat your breakfast, you go for a nice walk through the neighborhood, and you do like circles, laps around the neighborhood. And as you're walking, you'll run into a couple people doing their walk, going the other way. I have a question, Paul.
Okay.
How many times do you have to say hello on the various laps that you do? In other words, is it one? Is it every gosh darn time that you see these people? I'm like, what is
there's a standard, because I have a dog. I know you don't have pets. I have a dog that I walk, and I see the same few people back and forth like that, back and forth as you go around the block. And it's like, my standard is this. First time, but I give them the wave and that. I don't say anything. That's the key. So the next time I go around, I've already got it in my log, and I go, wow, we're doing the same thing, or whatever. Okay, then that's the dialogue line. Now the third line, the third time is you turn like this, with like the dog's making you go into the bushes, and you wait for them to go by. You know, and that's kind of the 1, 2, 3 that I use, and it works really effectively.
Okay, well, by the way, that's great advice, because I've also heard this one. The first time you say hello, hey, how you doing? Good morning. Second time you just kind of the old tip of the hat, you know, whatever. And the third time is, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, with the phone. The phone is a good one. If you have a dog, it's a little more awkward because you're carrying the blue bag with the poop in it, and you got the left hand with the the leash, and it's like I try not even to bring my phone on those walks because I like to be available. But yeah, no, that's kind of the reverse of what I do.
Basically. Well, because it just gets unnerving, and you see the same people, and then.
But you can't say. I know it's uncomfortable, and you don't want to. You really don't want to acknowledge them the second time, but you have to. So that's why I save the verbal for the second round. So I seem really nice.
So the first time it's just like.
It's like that. And they may even say, "Oh, hi," and I go. Like that, and then I'm walking. The next time around, I laugh and I go, "Oh wow, we're doing the same thing. Here we go." Again. And then third time,
the dog's pulling you to the side.
Dog's pulling me, and I'm trying my best to get it in. And
because between Instacart Man and having to figure out how many times you say hello to the people walking through the neighborhood, I'm this close from starting my drinking now, Paul.
No, I don't.
And I know it's 3:30 somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, all right. So that's that.
That's all right. All right. Well, and then to add to your frustrations, which a little birdie whispered in my ear that I guess you were assigned the cleaning duties to the house, and I heard that you got failing marks. That's what I heard. I heard that there was by the missus a white glove inspection, and that
I failed. I failed the inspection. All right.
Care to describe what happened?
As part of the COVID world, you have to be ready for people that who test positive.
Oh yeah.
And it's getting more increasingly. It's happening more often.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, about a month ago, the woman who helps clean our house every other week called me and said, or texted me and said, she tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
So hadn't seen her in a while. Right. But the timing was okay, but she needed some time off to get well.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, no problem. I definitely don't want you guys over here. So I took on the task of cleaning the house. Well,
sorry.
As you know, Paul, no good deed goes unpunished.
Ever.
Yeah. So I get all my cleaning supplies, my Lysol, got my Clorox. I mean, I got it all. My Fabuloso. We've talked about that. I've got it all.
Did you have a bucket?
I have 2 buckets. I have 2 buckets. I scraped. I scoured. I scrubbed. And
you in any particular cleaning garb, or were you just wearing jeans?
I was wearing jeans and a shirt, and I wish I had knee pads because I'm not kidding, Paul. You get down on your hands and knees for a couple of hours, it's painful.
That's work. That is work.
So long story longer, I thought I did a pretty good job. I did everything I could do and figured, A, I can't wait for the woman to come back here because it was brutal.
Right.
And B, I thought I did a good job. Well, as it turns out, when Sergeant Carter, a.k.a. Mrs. Silver, came home, white glove along the back of her sink.
F.
Failing grade.
Yeah.
What is it? The stove. where those things, you have to take those grates off or
Take
whatever.
the grates off and clean. You didn't do that?
I thought I did, but evidently
F.
grease.
Two F's.
Two F's. And the last one was the well, as they say in New York, the turlet.
Oh yeah, which is a key one to get right.
Well, it's a key one. Evidently, I didn't use enough Clorox because it needs to have a smell like Clorox or Fabuloso. I thought I just kind of gave it the old wiperoo.
Yeah, 3 F's.
3 F's. So I thank goodness we're healthy and safe.
Yes.
But I'm not doing very well with the COVID.
It's not treating you well with the Instacart and with the maid service and the whole thing. Yeah. You're not doing well.
No. So here's the best news of all is the woman who helps us clean our house has been out of the protocol of COVID. Oh. She's ready to come back next week. And I am going to greet her with balloons and confetti.
And some sort of cake or pastry.
Oh, whatever she wants, she wants, because I can't wait to get her back.
That's great. That's great.
Right. So that we can tie a bow around the COVID thing. It's the producer's podcast. He's Tall Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. A couple of former radio and television producers are actually current producers who like to strap on the old microphone every week and give it a whirl.
Oh, why not? There's so much to talk about. There really is.
I do have a question for you, Tall Paul.
Okay.
Are you a car guy?
Am I a car guy?
Are you a car guy?
Yes, the answer is yes. My dad owned 2 car dealerships.
Oh, okay.
I grew up surrounded by cars, and he would bring home the most beautiful new Corvettes and Mustangs, and I mean just the top of the line. And those were his cars he'd drive. Yeah. And he was able to obviously bring whatever he wanted, and he always brought cars because he knew it delighted me. And it was just, I couldn't drive them, but it was the funnest thing to see these things roll in. Yeah. Yeah. And so
and even to this day, are you a car guy? Like, in other words, when do you collect them? Because I have a point to make in just a second, but people like Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, Adam Carolla. Well, they collect cars. Like,
I'm not in that league. Jay Leno has 181 cars and 90 motorcycles.
It's ridiculous. Now, I think he actually uses them, but I mean, I'm not a car guy because I think you have to have the car gene. Like, in other words, in your case, your dad passed down the car gene to you.
I got it.
Yeah, I never got it. I couldn't barely drive a car. Yeah, even at this late.
By the way, you still can't. I'm a friendly thing. Love you to death, but
bad driver.
Driving isn't your number one skill.
No. Either a car or a golf cart, not my strength. But anyway, well, to that point, and I want to know what your dream car is, but the other day I was walking through our neighborhood as I was doing the walk and I was saying hi to people 13 effing times. Yeah. I ran across this car. Oops, hold on.
Oh, a Woody.
Right.
Yes.
The Woody.
Those are very rare, and they're really fun because, up where I live here, not far from where you are, they put surfboards on them for looks, not really to use them. Some still use them, but they do once a year up here, they do a Woody show.
Well, this thing did stop me in my tracks because it was cool. Evidently, it's from 1951. This is a 1951 car. It looks mint. And you're right. This is what surfers used up and down the California coast to bring their boards and their girlfriends and go surfing. And it's just so I'm not a car guy, but this one got me. So I thought I wanted to share that with you real quick.
That's beautiful. I love Woodies. That's original wood, the one you're showing. Now, obviously, the new ones that they call Woodies now that put wood on the side,
that's fake.
That's just fake.
That's a real thing. Because what I was also going to show you, like, for example, me, when I was younger.
Yeah, what did you like?
To show you, well, I didn't like it, but this is the car I drove.
Oh, the VW van.
The VW van with the tilted hood up top. And that's me with the long hair on the right.
Is that really you?
That's really me. Kind of skinny.
Who's the girl?
The girl was my friend's girlfriend, the guy in the middle. Kind of like hippies, because this must have been the 70s.
I was going to say, they look like the Mod Squad.
Yeah, it's a Mod Squad. We used to sit in the park, open that van, play cards, drink beer, hang out, and then drive home, of course. Yeah. But you can tell, I wasn't raised with Corvettes or
no. You look very, very comfortable being a hippie with the long hair and that. I don't know what you have in that cup, but I know that it's not legal.
Well,
I'm sure of that, right?
yeah,
That
well,
wasn't legal. Whatever you had in that cup of that, you're not sipping iced tea or
no,
lemonade.
no, it was some alcoholic beverage, which
Yeah.
maybe points to the fact that I should stop drinking since I've been drinking since I'm 17 years old.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And then the last one, just to show you the real nerd,
Okay.
is this one.
I love
this.
pictures.
I found this picture of back in the 80s, a Mazda 626, Paul.
Oh my God.
I mean, can you imagine? That's the car I was driving.
Do you know how much fun we made of those cars?
Well, I can imagine. Well, I was in San Francisco, worked at the radio station, obviously 106.
And you're showcasing the car. I guess you're showcasing the license plate.
Yeah, well, because you can't showcase that piece of crap car.
No, but why would you put a decent radio station license plate on?
Because I was the program director at the time.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to.
I know, Paul. I thought it was cool, but I guess I wasn't forward fast. Now, that said, I think I found you sent me a picture of your dream car. Is that right?
You're about to see the car that I dreamt of and I've always dreamt of. And now, by the way, the Cobra 427, that's original. Now, you'll see some on the road these days. They're what you call continuous Cobras. They're not the real thing. They're been rebuilt by this Autocraft company. And they look okay, but you can tell instantly they're not the real Cobra.
Yeah.
The real Cobra, my friend, you're looking at, is that when they're done like that, they're like 2.5 million.
Holy mackerel.
But if you just found one that wasn't fixed up yet, it would be about $1 million plus just to buy it, to fix it up.
Yeah.
They only made like 360 of these in 2 years, 65.
What about these other cars? Are these any good?
That's not a real one.
Okay, so these are just.
These are all what they call those continuation Cobras, and people drive them around and stuff, but they're not the original Cobra.
That's the original.
That's the baby.
Wow.
Right there.
Wow.
And you can just see, and I've sat in those. My friend actually had one, and
oh my God,
they're unbelievable cars to sit in and drive around in.
Look, here's what I would say about me not being a car guy. I do understand the muscle car, the Shelby that you just showed me, like a 66 Corvette or Mustangs or
even the high-powered Corvettes of the past
are gorgeous.
Really nice cars.
Yeah. But like I said, I've got the Mazda 626 and I'm ready to roll.
Well, you're sticking to that in the hippie van, with the liquid gold in your glass.
Right. But I do love a good, the first one we looked at, the Woody, a pure California car that was kept in.
Woodies are classics. And I'll call you next time they do the Woody parade. They do a parade of Woodies. Okay. And it's pretty cool.
I'd love to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we've confirmed that you're a car guy. I can barely drive a car.
Yep.
I think it's time to talk a little football, Paul. Do you mind if we talk a little NFL, or did you have something else on the agenda?
No, let's talk.
Because
oh God, were you at Kmart again?
Oh, shut Okay, now you shush.
Or is that a real one? Is that a real one, or did you go to Kmart?
No. Okay, a couple of things. We have a friend who does go to Kmart for his Packers gear.
But they didn't quite figure out how to spell it right.
Right. Packers are not with a Q. It's not P-A-Q. No. This is, believe it or not, Tommy Bahama. And the reason I like it is because I have a lot of regular Packers gear, but this kind of looks sort of waves and palm trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I like it. I like the looks of it because it's kind of a West Coast Packer fan. Because
most of the true Packer fans wear the cheese heads and everything else. I didn't go that route. So anyway, so that brings us to a little football, and we're ready for the divisional round of the playoffs.
Yes.
And last week, or the last time we did the podcast, the producers podcast, Jack Silver, Tall Paul Joseph. You did pretty well picking the winners.
I had some winners.
Yeah, I was off. The only one we didn't have, neither of us picked. Rams beat Seattle, and we thought that no way that would happen.
Right.
And then the same thing with Pittsburgh. We thought no way they're going to lose to the Cleveland Browns, and they both lost.
Right.
But anyways, if you forward fast to this weekend, which now it's down to like the Elite Eight. Right. They've whittled it down to there's 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. And if you're watching this thing and the weekend's already passed, hopefully we'll do well picking. So first game is the Rams versus the Packers.
Oh yeah, and I would love to see the Rams win this, honestly, because that's a team I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that with what's going on with them right now, they have a great defense. We know that, but they're on the road.
Yeah,
they're in the frozen tundra, which they don't play well in the cold.
It's going to be about 36 degrees and snow flurries at Lambeau Field.
Freezing,
which is cold.
Yeah, which is good for a ground game, but at the same time, guess who's really good at passing the ball in the snow?
Aaron Rodgers.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
So I think that this game is going to be they're able to score. The Rams aren't able to score that much, especially with Goff's thumb hurting.
Right.
He's having a hard time throwing the ball.
And by the way, even when his thumb doesn't hurt, with all due respect to Jared Goff, and here's where I'll chime in. The number one defense, the Los Angeles Rams, in the NFL, versus the number one offense in the Green Bay Packers in the NFL. It usually works out better that the number one defense does better. But I'm going with the Packers, not just because I'm a homer. I'm into the team. I've married a woman from Green Bay, been to Lambeau multiple times.
Right.
I just think that Aaron Rodgers is playing at MVP caliber performance.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, yes, Jalen Ramsey, your cornerback, might do a little shutdown work on Devontae Adams, but there's other weapons in the arsenal. And to your point, the running game will be good. Aaron Jones will probably outpace Cam Akers of the Rams. So let's pick the Packers, because
I'm picking the Packers with you on that. I'm going with it. And to that, I'll say one more thing. I'll add, Jared Goff, even at his best, would have a hard time beating Aaron, but with a thumb that's injured like that and then frozen, he's going to have no feel on that ball. And the backup quarterback is Bortles.
Oh, Blake Bortles? Oh.
So,
who kind of failed in Jacksonville. And a nice guy. Met him up in Lake Tahoe multiple times. We basically couldn't get rid of him. He just wanted to do every radio show. But, yeah, if Blake Bortles is your backup, we feel good about it. Sorry, so we're picking the Packers.
Yes.
Then the night game on Saturday is the Ravens at Buffalo.
Ooh. Now, that's funny because those are both teams that I picked to win last week, and they won.
Right. That's right.
And now they're head-to-head. I love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I know they're both on winning streaks. I think the Ravens have won 6 in a row, and the Bills have won 7 in a row.
They're peaking. They're both peaking at the right time.
Both peaking, and they're playing. Let's see, they're playing in Buffalo.
Right.
But I have to say, I like what Lamar Jackson's doing these days. Right. I like that he's figured out that he needs to run and keep them off. Yeah. And I'm picking the Ravens.
Okay, I'll split that one. I'll take the Bills. Okay. And the reason I'll take the Bills is, you're right, Josh Allen, their quarterback. But I think the X factor is Stephon Diggs, the wide receiver who just has been carving people up.
He's been great.
So Lamar Jackson's unbelievable. They've got a great tight end, that is it Andrews, Mark Andrews or whatever.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah. And so that'll be a great game to watch. That's kind of a mouth-watering matchup.
Yes. That'll be a lot of fun. There's all these games. The next one you're going to probably will be. What are you going to?
Yeah, I'm going to Sunday. So Sunday you got Cleveland at Kansas City, which is
not so fun to watch. That one.
What do you think? Kansas City blows them out?
Can you say blowout?
Yeah. Do you think the Cleveland pixie dust has run out? I mean, the fact that they were leading 28 to nothing at the end of the first quarter last week, nobody picked that.
Right.
And I think even though Baker Mayfield is a baller and
he's good, but the thing is that, and here's the X factor. If you want the X factor, I think it's Hunt's first game against the Chiefs.
Oh, right.
Since leaving. So he's going to be primed. He was huge last week.
He was huge. And he's playing he'd go against his old team. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I actually told you last week that I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland did upset.
You did say that
last week.
But you didn't pick him.
But I didn't pick him because, I'm kind of wishy-washy. But anyway, I'll go with Kansas City. You can't pick against Patrick Mahomes.
I'm going with Kansas
Travis
City.
Kelce, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Andy.
And I say Kansas City by at least 10 points.
Okay. And then we'll wrap this up with the final game of the weekend, which I really think is another marquee matchup, which will be fun to watch. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, and that's another one. That's a game. You know how I love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's my guy in fantasy. He's my quarterback.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of this season, who did I say would win the Super Bowl?
Saints.
Right. And I'm sticking,
so you're sticking with the Saints.
I think the Saints will, Kamara alone, with Drew Brees and Michael Thomas.
Wide receiver.
It's too much.
That's a pretty safe bet. I think they're favored. How about this? I'll take Tampa. And the reason I'll take the Bucs is because, again, the team is peaking at the right time. They're heading north.
They're doing
Tom
great.
Brady has so many weapons. It's unbelievable. And maybe just, maybe it's his year. And
I hope so. I won't be sad except for the fact that I've been on the Saints from the beginning of the season. Right. But I'll be happy if that happens. But I'm picking the Saints to go. They're at home over the Bucs.
Okay, so quick recap. We both like the Packers.
Yep.
You're taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Bills.
Right.
We both like the Chiefs, correct?
Yes.
Right. And I have Tampa, and you have New Orleans in the nightcap on Sunday night.
That's right. Now, a quick quiz before we go.
Okay.
Jack Silver. Because I thought this was interesting. I'll give you the quarterback. You tell me if he was a number one pick or not. Okay?
Number one pick in the NFL draft.
Right.
Okay.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. I think he was a number one pick.
You're saying he was. You're right.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
I believe Baker Mayfield was not a number one pick.
You're saying not. He was a number one pick.
Shoot.
So you're 1-1.
All right.
Josh Allen. I'm just doing the quarterbacks that are in the hunt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Josh Allen was not a number one pick because everyone's kicking themselves for not picking him.
Bingo. You're 2-1.
Yeah.
Here we go. How about Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes was not a number one pick. In fact, I think he was like a second round pick.
He was number 10.
Yeah, number 10 in the first round or number 10 in the second?
Yeah, 10 in the first round.
Yeah, and by the way, all those coaches and GMs who passed on him.
Yeah, well, they're selling popcorn now in the stands.
Right. They're certainly not working as a football general manager.
Okay, we have 3 more. Let's go. You're 3-1.
Okay.
You're doing well. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers was also not a number one pick.
Bingo. He was 24th.
Out of University of California at Berkeley.
As was Jared Goff. In fact, it's 2 Cal guys going up against each other. How about that?
Good sidebar, Paul.
Thank you. Drew Brees.
I don't even think they had an NFL draft when I'm just kidding. That's mean. That's mean for an old guy. I doubt Drew Brees was a number one pick.
You're doubting that, and you're right. He was 64th.
Right.
Yeah. And last one, Tom Brady.
And I know Tom Brady was not a number one pick out of Michigan. And evidently he did very poorly at the combine. He ran really slow, and they thought he was kind of doughy.
Right.
And I think what you're getting to, Paul, is just because you were picked number one, like Jamarcus Russell, I believe, was one of the biggest bombs. Whoa, hello. Seal, get Jamarcus Russell on line 2.
God bless him, but yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of those number one picks bust. And
just to finish it up, Tom Brady was number 199 pick.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that just proves that a lot of those guys don't know that much. It's tough to predict the future.
It is.
Now, but here's the good news. All 6 of the guys you mentioned are playing this weekend.
That's right.
It's going to make for some really good football. So believe me, I'm going to be loading up on the brats, the chicken wings, my ribs, my beer for my Packer game. Yeah. And then if I've got anything left, I'll space it out for the rest of the games.
Did you already buy all that stuff? You got it? You're all ready?
I'm thawing the stuff out right now. And then I even went and got some nice salsa and those Tostitos scoopers. The scoop chips.
Oh yeah. You're really into it.
So yeah, I'm big time into it. Now the last thing to say is the only bad news about the divisional playoffs this weekend is normally I'd like to have a bunch of friends over,
right,
and root for the team. But you got to do it solo. So
I'd love to be over there with you, eating ribs and brats and watching it.
Well, here's what I'll do. We'll FaceTime or Zoom a couple times during the game.
There you go.
And if my eyes are still open in the fourth quarter, I'll give you a jingle.
I predict there'll be so much red sauce on your nice white.
No, not on my dude Packers thing. No way. All right. Well, the Producers Podcast, great job, Paul.
You too.
everybody, you go share it, like it,
Yeah.
paste it,
Share
cut,
it,
paste
like
it,
it,
do whatever
the
you
whole
got to do.
thing. Leave comments, good or bad. We'll react to them.
We
How
appreciate
about
it. We'll
that?
talk to you next time on the Producers Podcast.
Yes.